Good evening and then welcome all of you to the next session on procurement implementation. We are now continuing with the setups now on the procurement setups. So let us go inside and then have a look at it now. Let me share my screen now. So let me go there and then log in with my ID. All of you, please remember your numbers basically. C00 underscore EMP1. Now we are now going by EMP1 and not IMP. So EMP1 here itself we are now given the what is called A0, and so what happens? All the setups will be done by this now. In practice, what happens? You won't be doing like this now, such. So we go there and then see this now. Fine. The manage life cycle phase is the last activity which you have done now. So let us go and have a look at it. So here. You go there, click on it and then go to setup and maintenance. Now have a look at this life cycle phase now. Manage percentage, life percentage, cycle percentage, enter. So manage life cycle phase is the one. Fine, click on it. And then we go there inside. So here you go and then query was C. And then click on search. So C00 production has been made now. And we have made the C00 production. So this is basically very important for higher level licenses of product and catalog and then product and hub. Whereas for the basic license, it is a mandatory field which has to be given now while you're creating an item. So life cycle phase is a mandatory field, and so what happens? We have to have one life cycle phase in your system. So this is not done. And then afterwards, what happens? The next is manage item classes. I will now go a bit late now. Yeah, anybody? The next is manage item statuses. This is a very important one. So here, if you see in eBiz, we'll now have a look at it on the manage item statuses now. So go to setups. Now go to items. And then here, if you go on and see the status codes. So setup item status codes, the navigation in eBiz. Fine, if you go there and see control F11, if you see. What happens on active is a status which will be having all the item defining attributes, status attributes. The BOM allowed, built-in WIP, customer order enabled, internal order enabled. So all the status attributes have been enabled for the active. So we also have it, and then what happens? It is not limited to this. Here, what happens? 8 of them are for discrete manufacturing, and then 2 of them are for process manufacturing, like recipe enabled as well as process execution enabled. These are all for process manufacturing, but process manufacturing is yet to come in Fusion. So that is not there as such now. Fine. Apart from the remaining into that, but it is even for more now. The active status in Fusion has got even more now. Fine. Down arrow, and then the remaining are not made at all. So what happens? It is a test a demo instance, and so what happens here? They have got so plenty. In the real instance, what happens? You'll have only active as well as inactive. So inactive means what? Nothing is there. So in a real instance, what happens? You'll be having active and inactive. So the remaining are all made for the demo purposes now. So you also have the same thing now. You go there and then have it. Click on what happens? Cancel. So you'll now see the manage item statuses now. So it's manage item status is a task name. So click on cancel and then come out of it. So manage item percentage, star percentage entry. Manage item statuses. Here also what happens? You'll be having the seeded ones of active and inactive. So you can see it's active. So if it is active, what happens? You have plenty of things are enabled actually. You go there. It is more than eBiz basically. It is now more than eBiz. Even though the process execution is enabled, what happens? It is not yet come. The process manufacturing is yet to come in Fusion. So once when it comes, you can use it. So they have done it even now itself with a view that it will be coming. So on so many these things, what happens? You are having it. There we have only 10. Here we have many now. So these attributes are set by applying one status of active. Here also what happens if you go there and see the active one. Once when I apply the status, I'll now go on and show you the status now. Fine, you go there, you'll now create an item, master item. So when I'm creating an item, what happens? Again, I'll apply the status now. So I'll now go for the M1 organization. So I will now create an item called test statuses. So once when you apply a status of active, there is no need for you to go and then again set up those attributes and all. All the attributes are internally set. Fine. It is test percentage statuses. Fine. Go there. And then I simply commit. Without applying any template, I'm committing it. So the moment I commit it, what happens? I can now see in inventory, none of the status attributes are enabled actually. The item is now getting created in the master V1. And then I can now see there are 8 status attributes for discrete and then 2 for process manufacturing. And nothing will be enabled by doing this now. So afterwards, what happens? We have to apply a status over here now. So once when you apply a status, what happens? It will be coming. Even though item status is active, what happens? If you see on the other one, what happens? All the 8 status attributes has to become on, but it won't become on. Like what happens if you go to the inventory area? You go to the inventory area. The item defining attribute is not on, and so what happens, because of which the status attribute is not getting on at all. The status attribute is not getting on. So inventory is not on, because of which what happens, the stockable and transactable are not becoming on. If you go to the purchasing, what happens, this is item defining attribute, this is the gateway attribute, so purchasable is not becoming on. So if you go there, somebody is speaking. Any doubts? Let me go and mute all the participants now again. Okay. Fine. Here what happens, I enable it. Fine. The moment I enable it, you can just see the stockable and transactable are becoming on, because the active status is not making it now. And then if you go to the purchasing, the moment I enable the item defining attribute, the status attribute is now becoming on. You go there, go to the order management area, and then here I am now making the IDA on. The status is becoming on. IDA is internal order, enable not. So by applying a template, what you do is you enable IDA and then apply the status of active, and that is more than sufficient. These things we need not have to make it on at all. Just because the status is active, automatically it will be coming. So through the purchased item template, you enable all the IDA manually and then apply the status as active, and that is sufficient. So Fusion also is having the same concept now. So if you apply active, automatically what happens? The stockable, transactable, which are status attributes, they are becoming. The status attributes are nothing but functionality providing attributes. They provide a specific function over here now. So you go there and then what happens? You make it as inactive and then save it. So the moment you make it as inactive and then save it, it's gone. Poindi, poch. And stakeable on, and then if you go to the purchasing, what happens? The purchase is off. So similarly, what happens? You don't create anything other than this. Inactive and active is more than sufficient for any real projects. Unless otherwise your requirement is there, you will now create a status attributes. Here also what happens, you can see we have on inactive.
No, one doubt. No.
Tell me.
No, which is more powerful, no? I mean, by applying a status for the status attributes, or you control the attributes to the exclusive setup.
See,
there is a status
this is the one which has got some ready-made things available now. So you apply always active status. You apply always the active status. Fine. That is very important. And then afterwards, apart from that, what happens? This provides you all the basic functionalities for the item. And then apart from that, if you want anything more, you do it manually. Applying is very, very important.
I have this confusion always. Whenever you control the item attributes at master and the child level, if you apply a status, it will override whatever you make the changes in that setup.
It's not a question of override. It will be over applied. It will be getting over applied only. Fine. There's no such thing that what happens is not overriding it. It gets over applied. For example, what happens? It goes there, and then inventory. What happens? I will now go to the main, and then it is inactive. I go to the inventory, and then I will now make it as stockable, but not transactable. Fine. Now I go there and then make it as active, and then commit. Now you can see I have manually enabled stockable. Now stockable and transactable both are on. If it is not on, it will over apply on it and then it will now make it on perfectly. Fine. And then when you apply multiple templates, everything will now get over applied. If one of the templates says that transactable is to be off, so once when you apply it, that will remove it. So active is now making it on, and then your another template may even make it off now. So you have to know about how you are applying it, basically. Which one you are doing, everything you must be clear about. So there is item master creation department which will be controlling all these things now. Okay, fine. So here, nothing to be done over here. Active, you keep it as well. Active is already there. So status, you apply it on item. Cancel. So this completes this topic and go there. Next is what? We are now going to configure this now. So the business functions basically. So procurement business function, and then requisitioning business function, and then common options. So these are three things. Fine. It is equivalent to financial options and purchasing options of e-business. So let us go to the financial options of this. Fine, close it. Switch responsibility to financial options now. Rather, I'll know how to go to purchasing now. So in purchasing, setups, organization, financial options, the navigation now. So setup, this acts as umbrella for both procurement and payables. In e-biz or in Fusion also, it is acting as an umbrella. The financial options is known as common options. They are known as common options. So I go there. And then here, what happens? You're getting plenty of accounts are there. Some of them have been made as mandatory. So whatever is mandatory, you have to specify. Fine. The remaining also is required, but what happens? The payables team will take care of. And then what happens? This is one thing. So let us go and then set up the common options. Let us go there and then set up the common options. Fine, go there. So here, for common options, you should not go via this task. In this place, you should not go. Fine, you should go via projects. So for setting up the common options, the procurement options, and then the what happens? Your purchasing options, you have to go via projects. Click on the implementation project and then query your project. So here, what happens? C0. Click on search. So my project is coming C00. I will now open up my project. And then in the project task area, you query it now. It is always preferable to go because there may be some scope selection which will be involved. So whenever a scope selection is involved, it is preferable to go via projects. Here what happens, you go there, manage percentage common options. Entering. So manage common options is the one. So go via this. So manage common options for payables and procurement. That is what it is. Fine. This is acting as an umbrella for both payables and procurement. So click on it and then go inside. And then you can now see manage common options for payables. So there is, even though there is no scope selection there, what happens? You can go for these three things. What happens? You have to go the configure procurement business function, configure requisition business functions. All of them are coming below this now. Fine. So you click on this now. Fine. Manage common options for payables and procurement. Click on the goal task. We go there now. And then choose your what's called your unit. So here, business unit, you choose it now. Fine. C00 and then give a tab. Sorry, it's now coming up automatically. So I'm now choosing this now. C00 business unit. Fine, choose it. So choose your business unit over here now. So choose your business unit. Now what happens? The liabilities account is coming. Okay. 01. Rather, it is a 10 now. 10 hyphen 100 hyphen. Fine. 1001 is a liability account. Fine. Remember the accounts now basically. So we have got only 4 accounts now. Fine. So we have got only 4 accounts. So 1000 is an asset and then 1000 is a liability. So put everywhere liability because payables is basically a liability. And so whatever it is asking for, you just put the liability only. And then that
Nana, this is financial option.
It's a financial options, which is known as common options in Fusion. So here in eBiz, it is known as financial options.
Okay.
eBiz is known as financial options, and then in payables is known in Fusion it is known as common options. And here they have given different account, but since I am not a financial guy, I will not put the same liability account wherever it's mandatory. So what happens? I will not take a copy of it. But because if you put asset or expense account, it will not work. Only a payable liability only will work everywhere. Prepayment also I'm putting the liability, and then here I'm putting a liability. Here I'm putting a liability. It doesn't matter. When you learn financials or if you know financials, you can do all these things. Because for which what happens, we are not creating any account at all. So realized again, we are not creating account. Fine, go there, click on it. Click on it. These are all 2 mandatories. Which is mandatory? Yeah. Anything else is mandatory? Nothing else is mandatory. Fine, go there. And then afterwards, what happens if you see in this eBiz, if you go to the supply person. So financial options is now saying what? Ship to location as well as build to location. Fine. So they feel that what happens, only build to location is required, ship to location is not required in the financial options. They have removed it. So ship to location, ideally speaking, it must be only with purchasing basically. Fine. Not with financial options. So they removed it now. And then the inventory org is again only for purchasing purposes and not for the financial options. They have removed it now. So this is now removed. So you go there and then put your location. C00, we have got location 0, I'm going to put it now. C00, log 0. Put it now. The bills has to be submitted to this place now. Or otherwise I'll not make it as log 1 because I'm going to work everywhere and log 1 only. Inventory org 1, I'm going to put it now. And that's it. Fine. Click on save, save and close. That's it. Any doubts on the financial options? Fine. Click on it. Save. And then here, what happens if you see, you have the encumbrance here. We have the taxation here. Fine. The EBIS tax is there. And then after the human resources. In human resources, if you put a tick mark, it becomes a position hierarchy. If you remove it, it will now work as a supervisor hierarchy. And then here, what happens? There are only two hierarchies. One is a position way of approval, and then one is a supervisor way of approval. If you remove it, it will now become a supervisor hierarchy. And if you put it, it is a position hierarchy. Whereas in Fusion, there are 6 methods of approval you are going to see now. So here you have only 2 methods. There in Fusion, we have 6 methods. So encumbrance, I don't know whether it is there or not, because I have talked only financials basically. Encumbrance, budgeting is there. Naturally, encumbrance also will be there. So no setup of encumbrance on the financial options. And then taxation is also separate. Fine. The taxation is also separate. Remember, we cannot sell this product in India because what happens, the India localization is not yet come now. So we cannot sell it. So, but in other countries, we can very well sell. In US, we can very well sell. And US taxes is not taken care of. Fine, e-business taxes already. Fine. Encumbrance, I'm not sure about it. But I heard that budget is there in GL. So only when you budget along with the encumbrance will be there. Here, no setup of the encumbrance at all. So that's it. You saved it and then save and close. This is it. Common options is not complete. So only build location is there. Fine. You just give the build location. That will default on
inventory always missing.
Hello?
No, if inventory always missing.
Yeah.
I mean, how does the system considers the item? I mean, by default, it takes only the
It has
IMO.
been shifted. It's not missing here. It has been shifted from this place to the purchasing area now. Fine.
So purchasing options.
Options, fine. It has been shifted from financials.
Okay.
What's it now?
So purchasing option is taking care of it, right?
Yeah. Purchasing options.
Okay.
Fine. Now, next is purchase. So here we have purchasing options. There, what happens is the purchasing option has been split into 2. One is a requisitioning business function. One is the procurement business function. So the purchasing option has been split into 2 now. Fine, you go there. So first of all, you now give the requisitioning business function. You go to the configure requisitioning business function. This is the one. So click on the task, go to task, and then you're going to give the requisitioning business function. So first of all, choose your BM. Fine, go there. C00. So choose your business unit. Fine. So then click on OK. Fine. So choose your business unit. So specify your requisitioning business unit. Choose it. The scope selection is inside, not outside now. Fine. So here, what happens? The default delivered location, I'm going to use only child one. The line type is goods. Fine. This is the one. Grouping this item. Fine. Whether you require a reapproval whenever a change is made, all these things you can enable, disable, and then make R&D. You know, this is for the DFFs actually. Fine. You're not touching anything on the DFFs. You go further. And then the purchasing, what happens, which is a procurement business function. So for this requisitioning, this is the one which is going to act as a procurement business function. Shift to location you can give. Fine. C00 %1 and then give a tab. So shift to location has now come from financial options to this place now basically. Sorry, the percentage is not working now. So C00 and then what happens, you choose 1 now. And then cancel the requisitions optionally, multiple legal entities on order. This is an additional one. Price change tolerance, all these things are there. Even if you go on and see this now, not everything has now come over here. In the purchasing options, there are plenty of options are available here. Not everything has come over here now. Everything is now gradually coming. That's what I say. So it has got e-biz purchasing has got plenty of functionalities. Now all the functionalities have not come. Only certain functionalities have come now. They are now gradually bringing in now. Everything is now going to come up gradually. So if you go on and see here, what happens? You got plenty of functionalities: enforce price law, display disposition message, notify blanket, allow item description. Like what happens? You are having so many things are there. So these things are not coming in the purchasing options at all. And similarly on the document details and then result accounting. Whenever the account is there, account is all removed and then sent to finance basically. So no need to put anything over here at all. And then the document numbering. Document numbering has been separated. Done. Fine. Here it has been enhanced in Fusion actually. So there are so many functions which are missing actually. Fine. It is as an app. It will be coming very soon. This is what it is. And that's it. What happens with this? What happens? You give a save and close. So your requisitioning business function is not on. Fine. Click on save. And then save and close. So that's on the what's called requisitioning business function. So the shift to location has been shifted to requisitioning business function from financial options. Fine. Leave it as a save and close. Now you go for the procurement business function. So if changes have been saved, fine, click on it. Right. So We have to set up all the three now. Only when you set up all the three, it will now start to work. Fine. One, fine, and then go there, go to configure procurement business function. So the procurement business function is the final one. So we have to configure all the three things. Click on the procurement business function, and then drop down, and then choose your business unit now. When Jada was doing it, along with me, what is his name? I am not exactly remembering it. Jada, na?
Kali.
Huh?
Kali.
Khalid was doing it exactly. Hey, Khalid, you are there? Nice, fantastic. He has almost completed whatever I have done. Beautiful. That guy is totally dedicated. He is going to become a big man in Fusion. He just say. See, this I am not doing it based upon what we have implemented. So what happens? We are not done so much of R&D on so many things basically. Now, when you start to explore, you will understand so many things. Now, the inventory R will be the master R here. Fine. So C00, and then we'll now put the master over here. And go to the master. That means what? Items are defined as a master. It's the eligibility criteria, and then there's been shifted from financial options to purchasing options. The payment terms, drop it down. Fine. Choose the payment terms over here. Shipping method, drop down. Fine. You may have done something. Fine. I'm not sure about whether I have done it or not. So I'll now put something. Click on search whether I may not have done a shipping method. Right. So, then click on search. Oh, I'm not done it. So let me do it and show it to you. Fine. Shipping methods also can be done now. Fine. This is required from what's called a transportation point of view. Oracle transportation. We're using this shipping method to a great extent actually. That is yet to come. It will be coming soon. Fine. Control T, Control V. Enter it. Sorry. And then manage shipping methods. Go there. Let us create it now. Fine. Click on setup and maintenance. You take one more tab region and then again do it now. Fine. So this way we can very well do it. So but in one browser, one person can only be logged in. Right? Not multiple people can log in now. One browser, one person, one user can log in. Manage percentage, ship percentage, me percentage. Enter it. Manage shipping parameters, not shipping parameters. Shipping methods. No? Shipping parameters is for order management actually. Hey, I have forgotten the manage. I have not done it along here. Here I have not mentioned it. It was a mistake actually. So there is also a very important one. Manage it. What it is saying? Shipping method. No? Maybe it may not be managed. It may be configure or assign or something like that. Maybe shipping method. You can just see a define. Okay, fine. Define shipping methods. You click on the define shipping methods. This is very important for interlocation transit times for what's called value chain planning as well as some other thing. Fine. You click on this manage carriers. So let me go on and manage carriers. Let me define my carriers now. So other modules, they are very important, but from procurement perspective, it's not that important actually. Manage carriers. So click on plus now. So here, what happens? I will now say carrier manager is what C00 underscore. What happens? I'll say DHL. You go there, and then afterwards service level. Go to actions. You cannot add a row because what happens? We have to save it first of all. So you give a name and then save, and then afterwards you can add it. Find the plus symbol is now coming. Click on the plus now. So upon saving it, what happens? The plus symbol is coming. Shipping level. I will say next day air. Mode of transport is air. And click on save now. And then you can even assign it specific to an organization or otherwise leave it as such now. It's almost equivalent to what we do in EBIS basically. So your C00 DHL is now ready. I will change to DHL, and then save. This is only for information purposes, which the payables clerk will be having a look at it now. Otherwise, it has got a lot of functionality. It's value chain planning. With the value chain planning, it has got a lot of functionality. You go there, and then here shipping method is C00. Now see whether it will be coming or not. So C00. Yeah, it's coming. Choose it. The freight terms C00, whether you agree anything or not. You may not have created any freight terms basically. Fine. Here you go there and then choose whatever is available. And then prepaid. You can even manage freights and then go and then create a freight now. Fine. I'm putting some freights over here. FOB. FOB is either origin or destination. We always love to have a destination, whereas the supplier always love to have an origin. So because what happens, the destination means more money you have to pay now. Price break type is cumulative. Fine. Buyer, leave it blank basically. Inventory org is a master org. Fine. Procurement business function. Line type is goods. Drop it down. And then from there, what happens? The two-way, three-way, four-way match, as well as your what happens? Your accrual clearing is also done. Currency, I'm not going to use it for this one. USD. I'm choosing USD over here now. And that's it. Conversion rate is corporate. Preferred language is American English. Put it over here now. Fine. Leave it as, then accept all these things. Fine. And then the maximum file size, if it is 0, what happens? It will now go as a what's called PDF file. If you say 10 MB, it will now go as a what? As a zip file. Right? If you specify a file size, it will go. If you specify the file size as 0, it will be going as a PDF exactly like eBiz. Right? Maximum lines in a PDF. What happens? You can say 5 lines. Afterwards, what happens? It will go to the next page now. So the receipt close tolerance, all these things are going to work exactly like eBiz only. Fine. The match approval, this is now superseded by this thing. Goods has got a match approval, and that only fault. If that is missing, then it will not take it up from this place. Right. The consigned terms, I made to read it. The sourcing is again a model which I made to learn it now. So these are all for these modules. Fine. Leave it as such. Leave all the tick marks. Fine. Doesn't matter. So there are certain things which has come from this place, from your exact one. And then click on save and then save and close, by which whatever you have now completed all the things. Now we can very well open the requisitioning business function. So if you go to the requisitions, the form will open up now for us. Since we have completed all the setups now. So the common option setup and then the requisitioning business function, as well as the what's called your manage common options is now done. Configure requisitioning business function as well as configure procurement business function. So that means what all the setups are done. You go there and then open the requisition form, it will open up. Click on done now. Click on done and then come out of it. Now click on the home page and then go to the procurement and then you go to the requisitions. You go there, go to the procurement. Click on the procurement. And then click on the purchase requisitions. The form will open up. It will not have any problem at all. So here, what happens? I go to the request. The form has opened up. Fine. Previously, it was no showing that what happens. You don't have any associated business unit. Now the business unit is associated. So you click on the requisition line entry. Fine. Click on the requisition line entry. So you say the preferences are invalid. You have to set up the preferences. Here only the problem is coming. Fine. Click on OK. In eBiz, if you go and then open the requisition form, there what happens? Organization is a prime one. In the requisition form, organization is a prime one, whereas here location is a prime one. Organization is not mentioned at all. I don't know why they have done it. Really a horrible way of doing it. I really don't understand. One of the two of the customers are shouting at us. They're all working on eBiz and then switching over it. And then what happens? This location organization tie is required. That's why what happens? This is an undesirable fact. And they must be having some explanation for this also. So you're putting an item over here in the requisition. You go further. You go for 100 quantities now. And then here, I will not give a need by date. Right. Here, what happens? You go there. Here, inventory. Here, organization, we are not going to mention. And controller. And then I'm going to mention it. Right. Seattle manufacturing. And then Seattle manufacturing location is a mandatory field. But what happens? You can even put any location over here now. Right. If you put Adelaide also, it will work. Right. Adelaide also, it will work. You put any location, it will work. Whereas here in Fusion, the location and organization are tied now. So, and then there is only one form of only what happens location, and there is no mention of the organization at all. So the organization has got a sub-inventory. Sub-inventory is a physical container. And then so you put the location, the organization sub-inventory will default. When I put the location, its corresponding organization sub-inventory will not default onto the preferences. Just see. And they have removed the organization itself totally. So that means what? Every organization must have a tie to the location. This is a mandatory one. This is a mandatory one. If you don't tie it, it cannot work at all in what's called infusion. Every location must be tied. Fine. That's a must. You go there and then see this now. Fine here. What happens? I go there. Deliver to location. I'm going to put it. What happens? I'm not putting it C00. Let me put the first one. So remember on master organization also I have created a sub-inventory. I have created a sub-inventory in the master also. So I will choose the location 0. So location 0 I'm choosing it. And then afterwards what happens? You go there, make it as the inventory. And then if you drop down the sub-inventory, the master's sub-inventory will now come up over here now. It will now come here. And organization is nowhere coming. So okay, fine. I'll now make it null. And then let us make the location as 1 now. And then give a tab. So C0 location 1. And then if you drop down, you can now see C01 sub 1 is now coming. Clear, is now fine. So this has to be made mandatory and then save and close. Then only what happens, you will be allowed to go into the requisition line entry as such. This is somewhat horrible because what happens every time whenever you want to create a requisition for a new org, here you choose it in this place itself. Whichever org you want, you choose it. Here the preferences has to be first set and then afterwards only you go to the line requisition line entry. They got around 40-50 orgs and then every time they have to set up the preferences whenever they want to create a requisition for a specific org. They will now put that org's location over here and then afterwards what happens, put the sub-inventory of the orgs and then afterwards save and close and then only you can go there. Got it? So this is some tedious process which there is a nagging one. I don't like it. Fine. Now it has come inside. Now if you go there and then try to find out, you won't find any item at all. Fine. Percentage. You won't find any item at all. Now we have to create an item. So the next activity is what? Item creation. So in the requisition line, what happens? Item creation is there, next activity. So let us go there and then try to create an item now. Fine, go there. Click on OK. So the next activity is item creation now. Fine. Go to the product management. You go to the product management and then here go to the product information management. This is a place where what happens? You're going to create the items now. You go to the product management and then click on product information management. And then this is a place where we are going to create an item. PIM is a module. eBiz has got a separate PIM and then a separate inventory. Here, PIM and the inventory are clubbed together. Infusion. So here, what happens? You go to the task list, click on the task on the right hand side, and then you go to what? Create an item. Click on create item. Now I'm going to create an item now. Click on create item. Here, organization is what? C0. Only master org can be put now. Fine. You put C00. The master will be coming up automatically. Fine. It shows the master. Now, item class will not come at all because here for item creation, a security is involved. Fine, if you put ROOT, root item class is the one which I have to put now. So a security is there, and so what happens? There is a function security and data security. Only when you give the function security and data security, we can populate the item class, which is a mandatory one, and then go ahead and creating the item. So let us go there and then see the function security and data security. That is the only security which is required on supply chain. Fine. Other modules have got plenty of securities. And so what happens? This is the only thing which is not having a facility. So for which what happens? You have to go to this place. This is the place where you have to go to manage item class. 63rd set. Only when you do it, what happens? We can now create an item. Otherwise, item cannot be created at all. So we are going to do this now. So you go there. You go to setup and maintenance. So click on setup and maintenance. And then here we are going to create the item class. Or otherwise, we are going to set the item class, not creating it. So go there, it's manage percentage, item percentage, class percentage. So we're going to set it up now. So we have to go to this task and not the default class. This is only for the higher license of PIM, like product and catalog and product and up. And then this is for the basic license. So click on the manage item class task. You click on the manage item class task. And then here what happens? You'll have only one class available here, root item class. So only when you go there, what happens? You'll be having a hierarchy of classes basically. So for a basic license, you'll have only one item class. Fine. Select it and then click on edit. There is an edit button. You first of all go to this side and then make a selection now. And then click on edit now. We are editing it now. So here what happens in this plus, it is now enabled. There's okay. Item creation is allowed. The tick mark must be there. And then afterwards you go to the item management. In the item management, what happens? We have a model called configured order. So configured order will now even create a what happens a big bill basically. So here, since we are not working on CTO configured order, right? CTO is not working upon. So here it is what User defined, this is also as user defined. And then configure item numbering is none. And then no, what happens? No approval for the item. Do not put a tick mark on this. New item request will not go for approval at all. So these are the 4 setups which you have to do on the item management. User defined, none, and then remove the tick mark. And if the tick mark is there, remove it. Right? So ensure that all the 4 are now mapped to our basic license now. Now you go to the security. Click on the security. So for every organization, we have to give the function security as well as data security. Function security is like equivalent to what? You wanted to write an examination, right? For which to enter into the hall, what happens? You need hall ticket. So if you don't have a hall ticket, what happens? You cannot enter into the examination hall at all. That is called function security. Now, can anybody tell me if I got a hall ticket, will I pass the exam? I got a hall ticket. Right? I paid the fees and then I got the hall ticket. Can I pass the examination? Not possible. Unless otherwise you read the examination. Fine, for the read, you must have the data. So that's called data security. So function security is now basically allowing you to go and then sit in the exam hall. And then data security is what? You should have studied for the middle, or you should have carried some bit paper on your packet or somewhere else, or in your mobile or something like that. Fine. You have to have data. If you don't have a data, you cannot pass the exam. So both the function security and data security are important. So now we are going to add the function security first of all. So go there, click on plus now. So the item class people can click on plus now. I'm now going to add function security. So here it drop down and then go and then search for it. It's called product data steward. Click on search for it. So we need product data steward. This is a function. Click on search. You got it, and then you select it, and then click on OK. You take a copy of it also. And then give a save. You have to put the organization also. So what happens is capital C and then a 0. So it's a master org. First of all, on the master org. I've forgotten the number for the master org actually. So click on search now. So it begins in C001. Capital C 0. C00 will be the master thing. Yeah. So I'll choose this organization. So we are now defining the function security for the master org. And then you simply save now. After having given the product data steward as well as the organization, click on save. There's no save. Click on again save. So it's saved. You have to have a last save message. So now we are going to give the data security. Don't go anywhere. You already highlighted this line now, and then go down. The bottom, what happens? Product data steward actions is data security. Data steward actions. So the data security I'm going to go in. Now fine. Click on actions and then click on select and add. There are plenty of activities are there. What do you want to do? Fine. Click on select and add. So here you simply go search. So here what happens? You got a lot of things. Maintain items in invoice grouping. Maintain item in inventory grouping. Fine. If you go there, if you see this now, if you go on and see this now, we don't have any such security in the eBiz basically. If you switch this thing, click on OK. Close it now. Switch responsibility to inventory. In inventory, when you want to create an item, master items. And if you go there, when you want to create what's called attribute inventory, you don't need any data security at all. You can directly go. Right? If you go to the invoice grouping, what happens? You can now go and create everything, whatever you want. Whereas here, the security is involved. So you wanted to create what happens? The attributes in inventory, invoice grouping, lead time, fine, MPS, MRP. So for each and everything, what happens? We have to give a data security for it. Then only what happens is written down. So what we do is, since item creation is involved in every tab region, we select all the duties now, all the data security. So by the set of actions, what happens? There is a square box is there. If you select, everything gets selected. You select everything for item creation and then click on apply and then click on OK. Click on apply and then click on OK. So we add all the data securities basically. So only in a higher level license, what happens? This guy can create only in the costing group. He cannot do. What happens in a general planning tab? You can do like that. What happens? It will be there. Well, for a basic license, what happens? Everything will be basically there. and then click on save, and then save and close. Save and then save and close. And then requery again, and then do it for what? Child R. Remember, you save and close is the best method. And go there and then click on requery. And go there. And then here, what happens? You go to the security area and then add it for the child R. Go to the security. Click on the plus now. I will now paste whatever I have copied now. Give a tab. This is for C01R. It is for C01R. So click on save now. So the function security for a child org is now made. You go down and then actions for C01. What are all the data securities we are going to give now? And remember, this is the only entity in Fusion which needs function security and data security. Whereas in HCM, there are plenty of things there which needs these securities. So don't worry about it. So if you are able to do this, it will be nice now. Basically. Click on actions and then go to select and add. And then let me select all now. Search and then select all. Click on search, it will now tell you what are the data securities. You go to the, by the side of the actions, go there and then choose everything now here. 1 minute. I will now go to the actions and then select everything. So everything is now selected. Fine, go down and then click on apply and then click on OK, by which what happens, all the data securities are now added to this now. Simply save and close. That's it. So we have completed the function security and data security for our what's called your item creation. Now we can very well go and do it. One more thing we have to do it. I forgot that now. Two more things we have to do. Manage item percentage class percentage. So go to manage item classes now. Two more things which you have to do now. You select it and then go there, go to the edit now. So here you go to the life cycle phases and then whatever you have created, just add it. And click on the life cycle phases. I'm going to add. So if this is not listed over here, we cannot use that life cycle phase at all, whatever you have created. So we have to add it over here. And go to actions and then select and add. This must be available over here. Then only what happens, it can be used in a template actually. C00. And then click on search now. So we have created this production, C00 production. I'm just selecting it and then click on apply and OK. And remember, it does not have functionality in product license. So, but it has to be there somewhere. So we added it and then click on save now. And similarly, templates are exactly equivalent to what we have in the eBiz basically. So if you go there and have a look at the templates now and close it. Setups and then go to items and then go to templates now. So here I will now query a template of purchased item template. And then click on find now. So once when you find out what happens, you have a purchase item and then click on open now. So it is now setting up in what happens, you go to the inventory. So if you go to the inventory, it is now inventory is yes, stockable is yes, transactable is yes. When you go there, next is what? I'll now go to the purchasing. So it sets certain attributes now. Similarly, what happens here also, it sets certain attributes. And if the organization is missing, it is common for all. We can even create org specific templates also. We can also create org specific templates also. So the same functionality has been maintained here also. So let us go and then create for the master a template now. Fine. So let us go there and create a master for the template. Fine. Not necessary, but you must understand about how to do it now. Fine. You click on the templates and formats. Let me query the purchased item template. So how to query? In eBiz, what happens? You press F11 and then afterwards you write a query and then execute the query with the control F11. Here, what happens is very simple now. So you have to go to query by example. This is icon just for query example. If you click on it, for all the columns, what happens? It will now add one extra column. So here I write PUR and then simply enter. That's it. No control F in business. Fine. Simply enter. Write your query and then simply enter. It will now filter it and then it will now show you the bottom. So I will now say for one of the master op, not to say organization is what? G30 is a master op. And let me query for the master. So we got it. So let me make a copy of it and then afterwards assign it to my org now. Fine. Select it and then click on copy now. So an existing template, I'm copying it and then I'm going to assign it to my master now. Fine. Click on copy. And then here, new organization is what? C00. And then give a tag. The new template is what? C00 underscore PUR underscore T template. So create a template name. Fine. This is the description. Take a copy of it and then put it on the plate. So the existing, what happens, G00's template is now getting copied over here. Now I can even set as a default, otherwise leave it as such. Now fine, click on OK. In the real implementation, one of them will be a default now. Fine, click on OK. Now it is created. So if this is a template, what I'm going to do. So here what happens, the pack item I will not life cycle phase, I will now make mine now. Fine, check a change, and then I will now put mine now. Fine. Life cycle phase is production. I'm leaving the unit submeasures as such now, not touching it. I go to the specifications area. I go to the specifications area. I go to the purchasing. Let me set the list price. List price is now 3. Let me make it as 1. So this will default onto the item now. So we have got plenty of attributes on different tab regions. In eBiz, we have 16 such tab regions. It has been reduced to only 8 now. 3, 4, 7. Only 7 tab regions are there. So the 16 tab regions which are there on the item creation has been reduced to 7 now. So I am now putting on my template list price of 1 now. And that's it. I don't want to make any modifications as such. And the remaining item status, if you make it as active, it will automatically put every attributes on. Only the what's called the purchased is yes, this is sufficient. The purchasable you need not have to set. The active will not set it automatically. Fine, that's it. So the new template of my this thing is now getting created. Click on save and then save and close. This completes the template creation. So we created it. So we can now see G30 is there. C00 is also the template. The template name is what? C00 purchase template. The name of it. So you make the life cycle phase, introduce your life cycle phase into this place, and then create a template if necessary. In reality, it is not required at all. We can use a normal template. So click on save and close. Now we can very well go and then create our item. So item creation is now fully enabled. Can click on done now.
Then I wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we have item attributes controlled at master and org level in EBS.
Yeah.
Do we have the same kind of
the
thing?
The same concept is here also. Fine. Items are controlled at master and org levels.
No, not the item. The template attributes. Attributes. Yeah, that is correct.
Attributes are controlled at master and org levels. So we have the same functionality here also.
Okay. Fine.
So click on that now. Fine. Not done. So here we go there. And then now we go and then create our item now. Fine. We go and then create our item. You go to this place and then click on it. Home icon and then go to product information, product management, and then product information management. I'm going there. You click on the product management and then click on the product information management. Now I can very well create an item. I can very well create an item. So item can be created now because what happens? The root item class, which needs the function security and data security for both the orgs, have been defined. So even if you, for whichever org you are using it, for all the orgs, we have to define the function security and data security. So then only what happens, it will be possible for us to create an item. If one of the org is missing, it will not allow at all. Remember, for both the master and child, if you've got 10 childs, for all the childs, you have to create the function security and data security. And click on it. You go there and then click on create it up. And somebody forgot that now. They face the problems while creating it up. You put your master over here now. Items are created only the master involved. Now the root item class will come now. And remember, if you are not defined the function security and data security for the child, this is not, you cannot assign the item to the child actually. So for every child, wherever you want to assign, the function security and data security are important. Remember, I told my people some 2-3 times they have made mistakes, some 3 times while they are implementing it. They came to me, sir, it is erroring out. Oh God, you forgot that. Now I have my template over here. I will now select the template and then bring it to the right hand side now. So bring it to the right hand side, selected list fine. You choose your template and then bring it over here now. It has got a list price of 1 now. When click on OK, the template gets applied upon the item. In eBiz, what happens? We fill up the item name and description, and then afterwards you apply the template. Here, you apply the template first, and then afterwards you give the item number. C00 underscore item 1. So I'm now putting this on first item. Fine, take a copy of it and then paste now this place now. Now you can see my life cycle place is now getting defaulted because of the template now. Active, everything is there, and then I'm not changing anything on the what's called the units of measures. I'm now leaving it as such. Specification also I'm not making anything at all. We already have in the purchasing tab region, if you see what happens, we already have the list price as 1 now. That logo got defaulted over here now, and leave it as such now. After having done what happens here, we are going to associate also. Click on the associate and then associate the child dog in one go. There we have to save the item in the master. Fine, if you go there and see this now. Item has to be first saved now. You go there, go to the items and then master items. You put the item name, description, and then afterwards what happens, the tools copy from, you apply a template, and then afterwards you save it, and then afterwards only tools organization assignment will come. If you don't save it, it will not come. Here what happens, without saving itself we can assign it. So without saving itself we can assign it. Go to associations and then go to actions and then click on add. Select and add. It has got a better functionality when compared to this. We'll now show it to you when doing the data migration, legacy to this thing I'm building. So organization is what? C01, and then click on the magnifier. It will not show you now. Choose this org and then click on apply and done. Fine, we are going to restrict everything to only the first org. So by which what happened? The item gets created. Any doubt on the item creation?
But generally, without creating the item in master, we don't create in child log now.
Child org is already created, no? We already created child org.
What I'm saying is like the item, without creating the item in master org, we will not be able to create the item in.
We cannot assign it in the eBiz. It's so fine. Without creating it in the master, we cannot assign the child. Whereas here, what happens? We can do both the things in go basically.
Okay.
Going to wait for saving it and afterwards assigning it. Fine. Before saving it itself, we can assign it to the child org and then save it. That's what they say. Got it now?
Okay.
So you go there and save and close. Click on save and close. They have some small modifications everywhere. So item is created. Now what happens? We go to the requisition form. You click on it and then go to the requisition form.
Nana, can you requery the item, please?
Yeah, you want requery. Okay, man. I'll go there requery. Requery is now done in 2 parts. Fine. There are 2 ways of requerying it now. Product information. So if you go there and then see this now, fine. Click on it. And then here what happens? One is manage items and then one is browse items, by which what happens? You can requery. In manage items, what happens? You must know the item number. Click on the manage items. And then here you must know the item number now, because what happens? The double star is what? One of the field is mandatory. Basically. So if you don't give and then click on search, it will now say cheapo. Give one of them. Basically. So here you must know something. Fine. I will now put C00 percentage and then make a query. So item name or description you must be knowing. Fine. And then it can even have an image. Try to find out somewhere you can even upload the image. I forgot that actually. You can even image hide it. It will now show you for both the master and child. Somewhere you can even go and then add the images here. Right? Just go through and then work around and then see how to add the image. So you can even hide the image. So for querying on the manage items, you must know either the item name or description. But if you don't know both, what you have to do is you go there. If you don't know both, you click on it and then go to browse items. Browse items is one for what happens a blank query. For manage items, you must know item name or description. Browse items, you can even know if it is a blank query basically. Or what if you don't know anything also, you can very well browse. Click on browse items. And then here you bring it down, and this one you can bring it down. Here what happens? You give nothing here. Item description, item category, fine. Anything is there, then also you can search. This is for a blank search now. This is for a blank search. And then hide it. Got it? It shows you everything. For all the inventory org, it shows you.
Yeah, okay, Nana. Can you open that item which we created just now?
Yeah, I will now go there, expand it, and then let me create. Item is what? C00.
Yes.
Percentage is required. Fine, click on search now. I'm going to. So I will now open it up on the master now. Fine. This is now assigned to C00. So let me open up in the master. Fine, click on it now. So C00 underscore item 1. So I'm opening it up in the master. Item status comes as approved only because for the basic license there is no approval required at all. So item is opened up. If you go to the associations, you can now see this now. If you have any attachment to the item, you can attach it now. Fine. Structures is for BOM. Item people is only for the roles now. Don't worry about it. Relationship is basically what happens. Item relationship that will be coming to me later. These are the categories which the item has got associated automatically. So the inventory
can you navigate to overview?
Overview. I will now go to the overview now. See the overview, what happens, it gives you the units of measures, the description, long description, everything. Description is already there, the long description can be over here.
Okay, it grayed out primary item measure. Okay.
Primary units of measures, fine. Okay. So here, what happens? This is the primary of this. It cannot be done. See, this cannot be updated in EBIS also. The moment
Yes,
you
yes, yes.
you cannot do it. Fine. So they are all unupdatable attributes. They are unupdatable attributes. Fine. In the inventory training, we'll understand all these things now. So once when it is saved, we cannot do it.
Yeah. Thank you, and I just want to check with that only.
Okay. What's your name?
Vijay.
Vijay, okay, fine, good. So Vijay has got a good knowledge on this now, fine, but good questions basically. Fine, shoot up some good questions. We'll now see. We'll be able to interact. Beautiful, fine. He's now saying every attribute is now updatable or not. You want to make a check, fine. So only when you ask what happens, I'll be able to show you a lot of things now, basically.
No, one more thing, like as you said, like in the child org, unless we configure the item
function
class
security,
and all,
data security, we cannot assign the child at all.
Right. Yeah, but in this case, like we already assigned that, right?
Yeah,
so
no, we have done that. We have given the function security and data security for C01 also.
Oh, okay.
We have given it. So then only what happens here. I have given the function security for both master and child. So if there are 10 childs, for all the 10 childs, one time function security and data security is must.
Okay.
Now we go to the requisition. We can very well see the item over here now. So we can go there, click on the home page. And then now you go to the procurement and then go to the requisitions. Now item will come now. Fine, go there. Click on the procurement. And then click on the purchase requisitions now. And then we already set up the preferences now. Fine, we are now working on the first child org. So the preferences are already set now. So if you click on the edit, you can also see the location. Location is important, and then location and sub-inventory and not the org. Click on edit. The location and its sub-inventory are important. Org is not important here. I cancel it. Fine, it's now set. So since everything is now set, click on the requisition line entry. Now what happens? The item will come now. So if you put the item as what? C00, the item will come. The item has come. Let us go there and then put the quantity as 100 now. And then afterwards, what happens? Everything is now coming. Fine. The delivered location. All these things are coming. The sub-inventory is coming. Fine. The charge account is not coming. Will not come to because there is a mistake. There is a problem. Or rather, it is not set at all. The transaction accounting builder is not set now. Fine. So we have to have the charge account, accrual account, variance account, and then other accounts. So accounts, nothing is set now. Fine. So you go there and then try to add to requisition. We are to end up in an error now. It will now say charge account is not is required for specifying this. So accounting has to be done by the financials. So the financials has to do the accounting. So at this stage, I stop this training for now, and then we'll now start giving all the accounts from a financials perspective. I have only limited knowledge on this now because what happened, the financials used to set it now. But whatever I know, I will not teach you. And then I will now give you a document on transaction accounting builder. Try to go through that and then try to understand everything. So the transaction accounting builder is equivalent to account generator module in EBIS. It is equivalent to account generator module in EBIS. And then if anybody knows that, they can understand this TAD very easily. Right? Otherwise, talk to the financial guys and then try to understand this. So with the minimal knowledge, what happens, our team will be using it and then doing it now. But for an advanced one, only financials will come into rescue. So charge account is not there. So we are unable to add the item to the what's called requisition. So this completes today's exercise. Any doubts? Good, fine. So I am unable to go further at all because what happens? I am unable to add the item to the requisition at all because it's not throwing an error. So that error will be rectified tomorrow, and then we'll now go ahead on this. Good that there are some informed people are here now. Fine, they will be able to understand and then appreciate how it has evolved from EBIS basically. So let me stop the recording.